back, everybody. Today is Thursday, June 27th, and we just got that final GDP and the unemployment claims. Market is trading a little bit higher after giving a little look below in the overnight session. Traded below yesterday's low and is now trading back up towards the high, towards that spike close. But as we do every day, we're going to zoom out to the monthly and use it to help us maintain that perspective. Now, as we can see, there's really no change on the monthly basis, right? We are breaking out of a monthly balance. The last day of the month is tomorrow, right? Because the first of next month is Monday. So get some closure here, right? And it is looking like we are going to finish this month as a +4. In order for that not to happen, we would have to trade back down to that 52.95, which is, I guess not impossible, barring some catastrophic event, but highly unlikely, let's call it. So the odds are that we're going to finish with a +4 on the monthly chart, indicating that there is confirmation of the breakout on the monthly. And we will get a decent level to play off of going into next week, which will be this month close. Something I heard in July is that the market has not had a negative July since 2014. Now, don't quote me on that. It's just something that I read, but it is something that I plan on looking up this weekend, and just something to think about, right? July tends to, I guess trends tend to say that July is a bullish month. So maybe some continuation, maybe not. We'll always zoom out to the monthly to help us maintain that perspective. Now switching over to the weekly, you can see the weekly remains inside the previous week's range. The previous week's high, 55.7675. That's the all-time high from the cash session. We did trade above that in the overnight session, and so we kind of assume that the upside is not really done because it's unlikely that an overnight session really marks the high for a long-term swing point. We continue to watch last week's close, which is the 55.34 quarter. And something key is that we've got below there and spent a lot of time below there the past couple of days, but 2 days in a row with the 55.37 close, and then yesterday's close 55.43 half, two closes above that level indicate that short-term selling is fairly weak and unable to really hold it below there and force these weekly traders to liquidate their positions. Switching over to the daily, you can see we are balancing 1, 2, 3, 4-day, almost a perfect 4-day balance. I've been grouping these together as a 6-day balance. With these two, get the breakout and then these. So it is something to pay attention to, but we do want to understand that balance rules are still in play. First rule of balance, right? Go with any break from balance, especially if there's volume. And if the volume doesn't hold, then we look to fade back towards the top of balance. And then if we get acceptance below the top of balance, then the odds are that we trade towards the low of balance. Now, when we switch over to the profile charts, I'll mark the balances, the balance high and balance low, where I'm kind of drawing them in at, so we can get a better picture of the plays that we might look for. And of course, that 55.34 is basically sitting right in the center of that balance. And today, the key, right, we want to continue to monitor yesterday's spike, as getting a spike is looking for price acceptance. Opening up in the spike is bullish. Opening up below the spike is possibly showing a rejection of price, or just that buyers weren't ready. It was too late in the day to tell, and we'll have to wait for more information from the market today. Now, another key thing that we want to be paying attention to here on the daily is that we do have these previous, momentum moves up with these previous +4s. And so if we should break the upside, and right now we're trading at 55.41, but today if we see a break from the upside, we want to see that confirmation over this 59.75, so the 55.60 basically. I have it, my level is at 61.5, 62. I think that's the level that the buyers need to get above today in order to kind of confirm that breakout from balance. Above that, we should see some shorts get squeezed or kind of get stuck and have to cover, and that should propel the market up towards that 72, 76 area. Now, switching over to the profiles, you can see the plan here. Balance high 55.60 ish area, right? I'm kind of marking my balance high. That's just like the high of that high, but I'm kind of marking my balance high from 44 to 50. I think that's kind of the key area. If we see some strong buyers in there, we get better odds that we trade up to that 55.54, which is that previous caught VPOC, and then that confirmation above the 62. If they can't break above the 62, shorts would be forced to cover, or if it can break above the 62, shorts would be forced to cover. And the market likely trades, like I said, up to that 72, and then that excess from the all-time high. Should we slip back below, right? So let's say we can't hold this 55 to or 50 to 44. We probably slip back into the chop zone. That's back towards our weekly close, which was the 55.34 quarter. And probably chop around, building value back inside that area, especially after the spike from yesterday. Really shows us a rejection of this balance high and likely leads to more downside. Below the 55.22, I'm leaning a lot more bearish and kind of looking for the breakout for the balance to the downside. And we really can't rule that out. We haven't really seen any confirmation. Most of the trading this week has been done by short time frame traders. So we don't want to get addicted to price and think, oh, well, price is up, so we just got to be getting long. We have to play the balance rules as they lie. And if sellers are able to move below yesterday's open, which I think was a big spot, and we kind of saw, pullbacks to yesterday's open, right? We had one liquidation, but it came back up. Then we got that pullback to the open and fired off from there. Below that, I think, is where the weakness comes in, and then we start targeting that 55.08 to 55.04, 55.01 level, which is the previous caught VPOC as well. So there is still, decent odds for both sides here. So we've got to be paying attention to both. Today is not the day to get short-sided and try to only trade to the long side. But nevertheless, if we remain above that 55.34, I'm still going to be leaning to the long side, looking for this breakout from the balance of the upside. Below that, I think we kind of get back into more chop. And then below the 22, like I said, I think we start to get a little bit of downside action. But other than that, remember, we've got some news at 10 o'clock, pending home sales, natural gas storage. The big ticket item today is that Trump and Biden are going to be debating, right? It's kind of a special debate, but they are going to be debating live at 9 o'clock tonight. So get your B12 out, give yourself a shot so you can stay up late and watch that. And you may see some volatility in the market depending upon what they say. So I'm going to be watching it, sitting at the charts, seeing if there's any opportunity that sets up. If you're interested in that, just jump in us with the Discord. And yeah, other than that, you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure you're managing risk, sticking to your trade plan, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.